a spokesman for the Israeli government. Good morning, David. It's really good to see you.
Good morning to you.
First, I want to talk about what is actually known about the hostages still remaining inside Gaza. Could it be that maybe Hamas doesn't know itself where they are, let alone their well-being at the moment?
Thank you very much, Evelyn. Well, the one thing that we know for sure is that these hostages woke up on the 7th of October alive and well. And now we know that there's 117 men still as hostage, that we know that there are 20 women as well. 2 of them are very, very young, the Bibas children, extremely young, 11-month-old and 5-year-old. Their pictures have really touched the hearts around the world, and especially here in Israel. And we know that the 10 of them are over 75 years old. It is a heinous war crime to take these innocent people as hostage. They must be returned to their homes and to their families and to the people of Israel right now. I might add that 10 of them are US citizens as well. So we need to get these hostages back.
Right. And beyond that, do we know if Hamas actually knows where they are? Because we know that allegedly they're being held with the PIJ as well, and other groups, even civilians in Gaza. So do we know if Hamas actually knows about the whereabouts of these, and even if they're still alive and well?
Look, I can't disclose with you the intelligence information that we have, but I say to you again, these people went into Gaza alive and well on the 7th of October. And it's very important to understand that almost nothing happens in Gaza without the control of Hamas. They have run their terrible rule over Gaza for 16 years now. And it's extremely important for people not to fall for their psychological games. Israel has been extremely clear. Our 2 goals for this war, they run concurrently, they are side by side. They are to return these hostages home, and also that Hamas will no longer exist as a threat to Israel at the end of this war.
I want to talk to you more about this topic, because the U.S. is trying to get Israel, or get both sides back to the negotiating table. Is Israel, and under what circumstances will Israel be willing to resume these talks?
Well, Israel is always ready to do anything that it can to get their hostages home. We will do anything that we can. And you should take from my answer that exactly as I say, we will do anything that we can to redeem our hostages. Now, the important thing to understand is the only reason we managed to get 110 hostages freed last week, the only reason we managed to get those people freed and back to their homes, most of them, unfortunately, many were murdered before and during their terrible ordeal. The only reason we managed to get them back was because of unrelenting military pressure on Hamas. That's the only thing that works. All of us have to remember we're dealing with a genocidal, murderous organization here. And the one thing that we know that has been effective is harsh military action against them. That's what has got results in the past. And the people of Israel know that that's what will get results in the future.
So how are the chances that negotiations to that will resume as well?
Israel is ready to do whatever we can to bring our hostages back home. I will remind your viewers that, of course, it was Hamas who broke all the agreement to continue the hostage release pause. It was solely in Hamas's hands that we have returned to conflict. But they will feel the pain now, as they have not felt in the past. And we will do everything that we can to bring our people home. Everything.
So let's talk about the fighting that's resuming in southern Gaza at the moment. We keep hearing that no place is safe anymore in Gaza. So what are Israel's efforts to minimize civilian casualties, and of course also that the civilians have resources necessary for survival?
Well, firstly, we know that Hamas employs a double war crime. Number one, hiding amongst civilians, and number two, using civilians as a human shield. And we know how appalling that is. Now, Israel, again, is doing everything it can to ensure that innocent Gazans are not caught in the crossfire. But in the final analysis, We are liberating Gaza from Hamas, not only to protect Israel. We can't be in a situation anymore where Israeli mums and dads put their children to bed on a Friday night only to be woken up at 6:30 on a Saturday morning faced by gunmen with green headbands shouting Allah Akbar, with shooting into their homes and the terrible crimes that they committed. We're saving not only the people of Israel, but we're also liberating Gaza as well. Gaza must be free from Hamas to have any sort of decent future for all the people of this region.
Right. And on that note, I want to ask about the goal to eliminate, just quickly, one last question. So your goal is to eliminate Hamas, like as you have said, but what exactly, if you can go into a bit more detail, what does it mean? How do you even designate, who do you even designate as being Hamas, knowing that they have supporters? The reports are even claiming that the war increases support for Hamas, and many children grew up in schools that aim to brainwash them with this particular ideology. So what exactly is the goal here?
Well, of course, the United States and UK and all the allied countries in the Second World War worked hard to what was called denazify Germany. And we're working along the same principles here. We're going to remove Hamas from any sort of level of authority from Gaza's people. In essence, we are liberating Gaza from Hamas for all of the people of this region. All of them deserve to be free, to have a decent life, to be able to raise their children, not only Israeli children, but also Gazan children as well. We need to do everything that we can to remove this scourge from the earth. This is an evil, genocidal gang that must be defeated. And believe you me, we will do it.
Thank you very much, David Spencer.